class, last Tuesday, okay, we have started a new chapter, metals and non-metals, okay, and we have learned about metals and non-metals, what are non-metals, okay, and we have learned about the physical properties of metals, okay. So physical properties. So today we are going to discuss the chemical properties of metals, okay. These two are different. Physical property is different, chemical properties are different. So here is first one is electronic configuration. You know what is an electronic configuration, right? It is an arrangement of electrons in the different orbit of an atoms. So in metals, okay, the valence electrons means the electrons which are present in the outermost cell, they are called valence electrons. So in metals, okay, in all the metals, there are either one valence electron, either two valence or three valence electrons. So in metals, in its outermost cell, there are 1, 2 or 3 electrons, right? So in the chapter atomic structure, I have already explained to you that if an atoms have 1, 2 or 3 electrons in its outermost cell, okay, they will always donate, they will always lose those electrons and they will become positive ions, right? So here are, in metals, there are either one valence electron, in some metals there are two valence electron, and in some metals there are three valence electron. So from here what you will understand is metal will always form positive ion. Metal will readily lose its electron. It will easily lose electrons because it has 1, 2 or 3 valence electrons, and you know that an atoms require 8 electrons to become stable. So here are 1, 2 or 3 valence electrons. To become stable, metal will always lose these electrons, 1, 2 or 3 electrons. So you always have to keep in mind that metals always form positive ions, okay. That is the first property. Now second one is when metals react with oxygen, they will always form metallic oxide. So when metals and oxygen react, the product will be metallic oxide. So here are two examples. When magnesium react with oxygen, okay, when magnesium, it is a metal, right? So when magnesium react with oxygen, it will form magnesium oxide, MgO. This is a chemical formula of magnesium oxide. So this is magnesium oxide, MgO, and this equation is balanced here. 2 magnesium, 2 magnesium, 2 oxygen, 2 oxygen. So here when magnesium and oxygen react, the product is magnesium oxide. Next example is when sodium Na, when it react with oxygen, it will form sodium oxide. Okay, the product is sodium oxide. So here from these two examples, we came to know that when any metals, when it react with oxygen, it will always form metallic oxide. The product is metallic oxide, right? So let's check the equation whether it is balanced or not. 4 sodium, 2 2's are 4. 4 sodium. Sodium is balanced. Oxygen is 2. Oxygen is 2. So it is balanced. So this is the second property, right? Third property is when metal react with water, then it will form metal hydroxide. Hydroxide is OH. Okay, OH is called hydroxide plus hydrogen. So whenever metals react with water, the product is always metal hydroxide and hydrogen gas. So let's take some example. When sodium react with water, you know formula of water is H2O, right? Chemical formula is H2O. So when sodium react with water, the product is sodium hydroxide. This is oxide, hydroxide, okay? OH is hydroxide. So sodium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. So this is gas, okay? So that's why its direction is up. You know gas will always go up, right? Evolve, hydrogen gas will evolve here. So next example is when calcium react with water, okay, the product will be calcium hydroxide. OH is hydroxide, calcium hydroxide and hydrogen gas is evolved. So third property is when metal and water react, the product is metallic hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Now point number 4 is, fourth property magnesium react with hydrochloric acid, HCl is hydrochloric acid, the product will be magnesium chloride and hydrogen. This is salt. Okay, magnesium chloride is salt. So when metals react with acid, dilute acid, the product will be salt and hydrogen. This is first example. Second one is when zinc reacts with sulfuric acid. Okay, this is formula of sulfuric acid. The product is zinc sulfate plus hydrogen. So this is salt. Okay, zinc sulfate is salt. So okay, let's check the equation. Okay, whether it is balanced or not. Here is magnesium, 1 magnesium balance. Here hydrogen is 1, hydrogen is 2 here. Okay, so we will add here 2 hydrogen. Now next chlorine is 2, right? So chlorine is 2. This equation is balanced. And second equation is already balanced. So the fourth property, chemical property of metal is when metal and dilute acid react, the product will be salt and hydrogen. Now next is atomicity. You know what is atomicity? The number of atoms present in one molecule. Okay, so here in metals, okay, the molecules are usually monoatomic. Only one atom is present. Okay, so the molecules of metals are monoatomic. Single atom is present in one molecule. So it is called monoatomic. Now the last one is 6. Okay, point number 6. Reducing nature. As we have already discussed in the first property, electronic configuration, that metals have 1, 2 or 3 valence electrons. So they can easily lose those electrons. So they are reducing in nature. They have reducing agent. So the metals are good reducing agent because they can easily lose those valence electrons.
Now we will discuss the uses of metals, which is given on page number 93. Okay. So first we will discuss the uses of aluminium. So you know aluminium is a widely used metal. We can make many things, many items from aluminium. It is used for making household articles. See here, okay, diagram. It is used for making household articles. It is used for making aeroplanes, okay, and it is used for making wires also. This is wire, okay. So it is used in electrical wire also, and because it is a good conductor of electricity. As we all know that metals are good conductor of electricity, so aluminium wire can be used for wirings and all, okay, and it is cheaper than copper. So, and we know aluminium is used in making utensils also. You might have seen the aluminium vessels at home, right? So aluminium is used in household articles also, and we can use aluminium foil for wrapping the food stock, medicine, chocolates and cigarettes, etc. So these are the uses of aluminium, okay. Now the next one is the uses of iron, okay. So we know the small pins, you might have seen a pin, right? It is made up of iron. So iron is also widely used metals. It is used for making a small object like pin, okay. Here is pin, okay. It is used for making pin. It is used for making bodies of automobiles, okay, parts of automobiles, and okay, and it is used for making this one rod also, okay. So these are the uses of iron, okay. Iron are used for making pins, and it is used for making automobiles also, parts of automobiles. Now next we will discuss the uses of copper. This is copper, okay. So copper is a good conductor of electricity, so we can use copper wire for our wiring, okay. So copper is a good conductor of electricity. It can conduct electricity, so it is used, right? So it is used in electrical gadgets, and it is also used for household wiring, and it is used for making radiators of automobiles, and we can also make household items from this copper, right? So these are some uses of few metals, okay. Now next is we will discuss non-metals, right? So metals we have already discussed, and we know metals exist in solid form. Only mercury is liquid metal. Others, all metals are solid. And non-metal. So non-metals are usually solid or gaseous, but exceptional case is bromine. Here is bromine. Bromine is a liquid non-metal. Most of the metals are either solids or gas, but liquid non-metal is bromine. Bromine is a liquid non-metal. Now we will discuss the properties of non-metal, as we have already learned the properties of metals. So here are the properties of non-metals. So appearance, okay, it is not lustrous, it does not shine. Okay, we know metals are lustrous in nature, but non-metals are non-lustrous. And physical property is they exist as soft, solid or gaseous, exception is diamond is a hard solid and bromine is a liquid. Okay, otherwise non-metals are very soft. Next is melting and boiling point. Okay, melting and boiling point, here are, they have low melting and boiling point. See, they have the opposite character of metals, right? Metals have high melting and boiling point, but non-metals have low melting and boiling point, except diamond and graphite. Next is malleability and ductility. See, we know the metals are malleable, means it can be bitten into a sheet. We can make different design from metals, and the metals can be drawn into wire. That is its ductile property. But non-metals are neither ductile nor they are malleable, because they are brittle, because they are easily breakable. So that's why they don't show the property malleability and ductile. Okay. Now heat conductivity. Next is heat conductivity. They are bad conductor of heat, except diamond. So diamond is a good conductor of heat. So you have to write just the opposite property of metals here in non-metals. Okay. And next is electrical conductivity. We know all the metals are good conductor of electricity, but non-metals are bad conductor. And metals are sonorous, means they can produce a sound when it is heated. Okay, so but non-metals are non-sonorous. Some exceptional case are there. Iodine crystal produce a soft metallic clink. So next is alloy formation. So this one you don't have to do. So you have to learn the properties of metals. Okay, and this table, in this table you will find the difference between metals and non-metals also. So in our last class, okay, in our next class, not last class, in our next class we will discuss the chemical properties of metal.